Recently, in a studio in New York, Leonard Nimoy, Armand Assante, and a cast of leading voice actors assembled to record the soundtrack for an animated and illustrated film on the life of one of the most unique men in medieval and world history. His name is Rabbeinu Moshe ben Maimon, the Rambam, or as the world knows him, Maimonides.
I was born in Cordoba, Spain in 1135. My father was Rabbi Maimon, the Dayan, the legal authority of the Jewish community. Cordoba was a beautiful city with fine architecture and lush gardens. The streets were always filled with people. The atmosphere was of peace. Tolerance, culture, and refinement prevailed, and for us, the Jews, life was comfortable and secure.
Herbs, fresh herbs.
Shalom Aleichem.
Aleichem shalom. Little did we know what the future had in store for us.
The Almohads! The Almohads are coming!
In 1147, the fanatic Muslim Almohads, determined to conquer and convert Spain, advanced on Cordoba.
They have entered the city.
The children! The children! Mercy! May heaven have mercy!
Life for all of us, especially Christians and Jews, unfortunately, was never the same.
Jews of Cordoba, you have a choice. Convert to the true faith, or go into exile. If you are foolish and wicked enough to choose exile, all your property will be confiscated. Those Jews who choose to stay must convert or die.
It's the Torah! No! No!
You shall live by the Torah, not die by the Torah. My family and I have the luxury of being able to leave. Those who can, should. Those who cannot, may God give them the strength to continue in the ways of the Torah.
Move! Move!
God decreed upon us exile and wandering, from one end of the heavens to the other. Though we wandered for years, always one step ahead of the fanatical Almohads, my father continued to be my teacher.
We studied Hebrew, we learned Torah. But he also believed that science, astronomy, and mathematics were important. Father always said that the more one knows, the more God is revealed to you.
Maimonides became a biblical commentator, a codifier of Torah and Talmudic law. He also studied the classic philosophers, bridging and reconciling the rational with the reality of God. In 1154, Maimonides and his family sailed from Spain to Tangier, Morocco, and settled in Fez. Wherever he lived, in Spain, in Morocco, in the Holy Land, and eventually in Fustat, Old Cairo, where he became the physician to Saladin, the Sultan of Egypt, he was beloved and respected not only by his own people, the Jews, but also by Muslims and Christians. He is the first philosopher to rationalize and unify religion, God, and philosophy into a living and understandable synthesis. In March 2005, the Maimonides Institute and the people of Israel invite you to the Holy Land, to Tiberias on the Sea of Galilee, to join them in celebrating the Maimonides' 800th Anniversary Festival. Follow in the footsteps of Maimonides, the Nesher Hagadol, the Great Eagle. Discover who Maimonides was and still is. It is a holy land. He or she who has breathed its air, walked on its soil, eaten of its fruits, gazed at its skies, swam in its seas, experienced the beauty of its nature, explored its heritage and the drama of its history, and has been touched by the blessings of its majesty. He or she is blessed.
For years, I dreamed of arriving at Akko, the ancient western gateway to the Holy Land. And I did. Of seeing Jerusalem and walking its sacred cobbled streets. And I did. Of praying at dawn at the Kotel, the western wall of the Holy Temple on Mount Moriah. And I did. Of visiting the caves of Machpelah, where the patriarchs and matriarchs are buried. And I did. Of seeing the splendor of the desert, where the manna fell, where the 12 tribes of Israel traveled after they received the 10 Commandments and the Torah at Mount Sinai. And I did. And there were other dreams that only those who follow me will fulfill. Of hearing birds sing on the banks of the River Jordan. Of standing where King David did, dreaming of the temple his son Solomon would build, and praying where the prophets did, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. And visiting Tiberias on its shore. I've always wanted to be in Tiberias.
Whatever your faith or belief, the people and the Holy Land of Israel welcome you. Come, stand and overlook Mount Moriah. Enter the gates of Jerusalem as Alexander the Great did. Follow the path of the Crusaders to the site of their battle with Saladin. Walk the streets and ramparts of Old Jaffa as Jonas the prophet and Napoleon did. Climb Masada and marvel at the ingenuity, the tenacity, and the bravery of the martyrs who would not bow down to Rome. Reflect on the destruction of the Holy Temple from Mount Scopus, where Josephus stood with Titus. Then go north to Meron, where Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who wrote the Zohar, is buried. And to the mystical city of Sfat, where Elijah the prophet taught the secrets of Torah to the holy Arizal.
I have been blessed to see what I have seen, and where my footsteps end, may others continue.
It is a holy land. He or she who has breathed its air, walked on its soil, been touched by its majesty, he or she is blessed. The Maimonides Festival is being held in Tiberias, Israel, where Maimonides is buried, March 20th through 26th, 2005. International conferences on ethics, medicine, and philosophy, and other Rambam events will continue throughout 2005.